exactly 1 year before she saw the raven, Brenna began to dream of flying every night for a year. Brenna lived in Manhattan, a small, insignificant corner of it, way at the very tip top, with a lake and a forest and a hill she could climb without ever realizing how high she was. She went out and up to the hill to the small meadow. It was there that Brenna first met the raven. He looked right at her and cawed. The raven's call echoed in her mind, but when she wiped the tears away, he was gone without a sound. Or had there been wings flapping? She turned to pick up her bag and saw a feather, long and shiny and black, lying on the rock by her side. The next day, Brenna saw the raven again. He was staring at her through the bedroom window, the one with the view of the hill. She thought he was the only one, but soon there were 2, then 3. One day, she saw them all, 12 ravens, high up in the oak tree, watching over her. They called to her in her dreams. She heard them, but couldn't find them. Their feathers littered the floor, long and shiny and black. She dreamed of flying through a forest of black trees and shiny ebony leaves, always following a raven song. She had 6 nights of this. 6 nights of searching and never finding. 6 nights of waking up sweaty with raven feathers in her hair. On the 7th night, the dream changed again. Brenna flew through the air. Faster and faster and faster, flew back through her lives, each one freezing at one moment, a picture in her soul. She flew through them all until she came to the last one, the first one, as she could fly no more. She is just a baby. They carry her out into the courtyard while they watch. Each son is led to the block, the oldest first to have his head chopped off. As the oldest falls, the next one becomes the oldest. Then he falls, then another, until the 12th son, the youngest, who is now the oldest, is led to the block. He looks at her, his baby sister. I love you. I died for you. And he falls too. She cries and cries. Her mother coos and cuddles, but there is no end to her crying. She cries for them, her mother says. She cannot possibly understand, her father says. She understands. She is flying, back and back and back through her lives, frozen in place, until she comes to the first one, and she can fly no more. So she speaks instead. Why are there 12 white shirts in the wash, mother? She asks the queen. Because they are not clean, daughter, the queen answers with sadness. She has always been sad, even when she's happy. What soils them, mother? Blood. The dream ended. The next night she flew back again. She is in a garden. Why does this plot have 12 lilies and nothing else, mother? Because nothing else will grow there, daughter. Why is that? Because that is where your brothers are buried. The dream ended. The next night, she flew back again. Why are all my brothers dead, mother? Your father had them killed, daughter. Why did he do that? So you could have all the wealth and the kingdom for yourself. The dream ended. Once upon a time, there was a princess. For a long time, she didn't know that she had brothers. One day, she overheard people talking. She was the one who had caused their misfortune. When night came, she ran away into the forest. I'm looking for my brothers. She went to the stars. I'll keep walking as far as the sky is blue to find them. They were kind and gave her their key to the glass mountain. The way is hard. You won't be able to free us. You have to remain silent for 7 years. Neither speak nor laugh. You have to sew 12 little shirts. The conditions are too hard if you utter just a single word. If the key is lost, you cannot enter the glass mountain. Everything will be in vain. All your work will be for naught. The ravens began to call out to her, calling and calling and calling. Brenna covered her ears and closed her eyes and willed herself awake. struggled up and up and up out of sleep, but the calling continued outside her bedroom window. 12 ravens on the fire escape, calling to her. You say you want your brothers back? Here they are. They're birds, she said. They're ravens. Why? Because they're dead. What are you afraid of, Brenna? Truly afraid of? Falling, she finally said. Flying is nothing more than controlled falling. There are many certainties in this world, Brenna, the hanging man said. One of them is that you always completed the task I gave you, without fail, no matter how hard or how many. One of them is that your brothers will never let you die. Death is inevitable, whether you fear it or face it bravely. Brenna woke up in her bed. It was almost evening. A raven stared at her through the window. A white shirt hung from the doorknob. She slipped out of bed and pulled the shirt from the knob, held it close to her as sunlight seeped slowly from the sky. Okay, she said to herself, then to the raven. Okay. She began to climb, taking her time, finding the footholds, the handholds, the way up. She did not look down, she did not look up, she only climbed. Her brothers were there at the peak, waiting for her in their white shirts. She ran to them, held them tight, and danced with each in turn. Then, one by one, they took off their shirts, the shirts she had sewn, and became ravens again, flying in circles, calling to her. She stepped to the edge of the mountain, fell forward from the edge into the air. Her white shirt came apart at the seams, falling away from her as she turned, arms spread, wings spread, black shiny fingers, feathers catching the wind, lifting her up and up and up as she joined the ravens, her brothers, in the sky, flying into the sun, flying into the west, flying home.